Now, a rainbow's tale isn't quite as nice as the story we knew of sugar and spice. There's long been rumors as to how exactly rainbows are made in Equestria. While a great amount of Pegasi ponies are employed in the rainbow department of the weather factory, almost all of them do the low-end work. What's known is that the great streams of spectra, the individual colors of the rainbow, flow through large gates into vast vats. From there, workers carefully and equally mix the spectra into the coagulated rainbow pools that dot and run through the factory and surrounding city. Next, that mixture is pumped to the floor below, where other employees atomize it and store it until the active weather Pegasi deployed in the field. However, no one knows how individual spectra is made. Supplies are never seen being brought in, leaving not even a clue what goes on. Tourists, when visiting the factory, are treated to an extremely foreboding and plain wall with massive solid doors barring entry to any pony at any time. While most of the facility's various signs and architecture is bubbly and welcoming, Rainbow's factory's upper floor was protected by a harsh imagery of potential hazards and death, and the cloud wall was made not out of the clean white of the rest of the city, but of a black, quietly thundering fog. To become an employee of the upper Rainbow factory meant sacrificing any life outside those black walls. Workers are sworn to secrecy and forbidden from leaving and live inside the factory itself. Those who ever managed to make it out, not in a body bag, were twisted, disturbed, too damaged to ever bring themselves to talk about it. A lot of theories were proposed. Dark magic captured unicorns, chemicals, and environmental hazard that no sentient pony would ever tolerate, and even thoughts of other unknown sister celestials destined to create a spectre instead of raising the sun or the moon. None of them could be farther from the truth.
But a rainbow's easy once you get to know it, with the help of magic of a Pegasus device. Come on, Orion. We're gonna be late for our final test, Scootaloo called to a friend of hers.
She was older now, in her last year of flight school. She, like all the Pegasus in the school, was terribly nervous about the final test. Those that passed were granted freedom into the world, find their cutie mark, if they haven't yet, and become working ponies. Little is known, or at least little thought about the fact, was what happened to the fillies that failed their test. While uncommon, one or two from every class generally didn't have it in them to perform the rigorous tasks, acts, and maneuvers. Those that failed their test were looked down upon personally, shunned, hated. Cloudsdale had always bred a form of nationalism amongst the population. They weren't the best, or they showed the potential in being great. They weren't allowed to Scootaloo moved a little to the side as Orion, a tall yet fairly skinny pony, settled next to her. He fluffed his light brown feathers and gave a worried attempt at a smile as he stared around where he sat. They were sitting in a large open waiting room, onlooking the Colosseum, with all the other graduating Pegasi. Just visible in the distance was the factory. Orion glanced at it and gulped.
What's the matter, Orion? You afraid of getting a dead-end job on the snow line?
Oh, Orion chuckled a bit, then closed his eyes and sighed. No, it's just... I don't know. I don't think I can do this. What if I fail? What if I don't fail? But
Does that do just bad enough to still be disliked by everyone? I don't think I can take being deported. Where do we even go anyway? Subaru gave Orion a friendly punch. No one knows adult. And we're not going to fail. Everyone here is going to be fine. I know I will pass, she laughed. Thanks to the tips from Rainbow Dash, I'm sure I'll be fine. Oh, yeah, sure. That reassures me. That's actually just as, if not even more reassuring than the psychopathic hate every pony here seems to love to spread. Quit panicking, scaredy wings, Scootaloo replied. The only one here I think even might fail is that yellow pony with the dark green mane. She's the one who was out sick for that month, you know? Oh yeah, Orion remembered as he craned his head in the other pony's direction. The one who had that bad case of hoof and wing. She looks pretty confident though. I suppose we'll see, Scootaloo trailed. Turning to look at the factory herself, it gave her chills. Not of fear, but why? I hope I get some cool active weather jobs. Can you imagine? Everyone in Ponyville or Philadelphia staring up at me going, there goes Scootaloo, such an amazing fly. Cloudsdale, no doubt. She smiled in excitement, forgetting her tension for the moment. That would be something, I'll admit, mind you. Just coming from Cloudsdale. Who wouldn't be in awe? Exactly. Praise the flock. Praise the flock. Places, every pony. A massive buff Pegasus walks towards the entrance to the Coliseum. We're going to do this by name. Your adjudicators are on the east side of the field. Do not, I repeat, do not fly too far west. If they lose sight of you for any reason, you will fail immediately. Take deep breaths, stretch your wings one last time. This test will consist of 3 sections: weather clearing, agility, and finally, covering. Clear the clouds, fly through the hoops, and then fly to the marked elevation. Close your wings for at least 3 seconds. Any less and you'll fail. But keep in mind, there's no extra points for extra seconds. Finally, recover before you hit the cloud floor. Understood? Any questions? The instructor paused. Be careful to glance at every focus of the pony. Everyone's eyes were completely focused on him, and none were creased with confusion. Alright, Aurora Dawn, you're up first. Clear, fly, fall, complete. The yellow pony nodded and walked up quickly to the starting ramp with purpose. She stared down at the watching judges, waited for a nod from all 3, and then took off with a powerful force. The ramp bounced slightly from the force of the takeoff. Every pony watched as Aurora quickly reached the starting altitude, and then began a direct and purposeful attack on the positioned clouds. With expert timing and intelligent angles, the sky was soon empty of any moisture. Scootaloo and Orion watched with open mouths as they watched the first testee pull fast and tight turns, expertly shooting dead center through each and every loop. Finally, Aurora pulled herself up to the proper altitude, hovered, and closed her wings. The group of students gasped as she started plummeting down towards the clouds and counted breathlessly. 1, 2, 3. They sighed as they watched her wings open to the correct amount of time, collectively holding that release. Suddenly a roar rang without word. The students flinched in horror as they all heard the loud, hollow snap, only to be suddenly replaced by an unending, piercing scream.